Good morning, and thank you to all of our guests and esteemed speakers present here today. My thank you also to the Honorable Dario Nardella, Mayor of Florence, for hosting our conference today in this very special Salone dei Cinquecento. And thank you, Vice Minister Mario Giro, for joining us. A warm thank you to Ellen Toscano, the energetic and inspiring Executive Director of NYU Villa La Pietra, and my gratitude to the NYU offices in Washington, D.C. and Florence for organizing today's conference and that of October 26th in Washington, D.C. Friends of Florence is honored to partner with New York University and the City of Florence for this timely conference on protecting cultural heritage in an uncertain time, in commemoration of the alluvione, the flood that ravaged Florence on November 4th, 1966, thus marking the 50th year anniversary since the devastating waters that engulfed Florence in a treacherous grasp of destruction. With the ongoing threats to and destruction of cultural property due to natural disasters and intentional ruin and collateral damage caused by war and terrorism, the subject is especially timely for all of us on a global level. Today, we are currently confronted daily with the massive earthquakes in central Italy that have taken so many lives and set the entire population into upheaval, while also destroying so many buildings and art sites. In today's world, we are confronted with terrible scenes from Mosul, from Aleppo, Palmyra, and other war-torn areas where the forces of evil are threatening the very fabric of human memory and history by destroying temples, churches, monuments, artworks, and precious manuscripts and books that have endured the passage of centuries and that contain the history of mankind. Resiliency is the theme of today's conference, but I would also like to stress the importance of prevention, wise maintenance of our historical sites and artworks, and protection of our history for future generations to come. This mission should be constant and not only put into action in case of natural or violent disaster. Friends of Florence was founded in 1998 as a US-based nonprofit foundation, and we now have supporters throughout the world who perceive Florence's art and cultural patrimony as their own, as it truly forms the basis of Western civilization. During the past 18 years, Friends of Florence has been able to restore numerous major sites and artworks in Florence and Tuscany, including entire rooms and smaller treasures of the Uffizi, the Michelangelo statuary in the Galleria dell'Accademia, including the David and the Slaves, and numerous paintings, city tabernacles, and entire fresco cycles in many of the churches and cloisters of the city. We also assisted in completing the restoration of the Gates of Paradise for the Baptistry of Florence, those sublime doors by Ghiberti that were ravaged by the flood of 1966. Along with this symposium today, we have dedicated another 3 projects to the 50th anniversary of the 1966 flood. We have just completed our successful restoration of the 5 Botticelli and Pollaiolo rooms in the Uffizi Gallery, unveiled as our gift to the city of Florence just recently on October 17th. High waters also hit Venice and other regions to the north of Italy on November 4th, 1966. Thus, we are now also inaugurating the completion of 2 joint projects in partnership with Save Venice that have been shared in both cities to commemorate this anniversary. In November, we shall also be giving our biannual restoration prize to a Florentine artwork that was damaged by natural disaster, by terrorism, or war. Many projects submitted for this prize are still in need of restoration after being ravaged by the waters in 1966. Thus, 5 decades after the devastating flood, we and our colleagues continue to seek ways to protect and salvage extraordinary treasures, using the latest technologies and strategies combined with the best conservation practices, all thanks to generous and enlightened donors in the United States and other countries around the world. Through the dialogues and presentations from our first conference last week in Washington, D.C., and today's sessions here in Florence, it is our hope that we shall all be able to learn from each other's experiences and create a true pathway to protect our heritage for the future. Thank you.